Hey y'all, thanks for checking in for mining. So today I was going to tell you about some power problems I had, and it was with my SC box. Actually, I have two of them, and I noticed one went down. Now we did have a little bit of a storm, and I thought maybe the internet went out, and when they both were reconnecting, one just didn't. So I just powered it off, powered it up, worked fine, no problem. Then I noticed a couple days later it was down again, and I started looking at it, and then I noticed that it had a melted wire right into the breakout board. And I thought, wow, thank God I caught it, and didn't just keep restarting it and thinking it was something else. That this could have caused another problem with the miner itself. It could have. That's where this is the bad side, but at least it didn't go into this side and melt into the miner. And then I had to replace the power connector inside the miner, which would have been a headache. A lot easier to replace this breakout board. But while I was looking at it, like I said, I had the burnout here. I started looking a little bit more at it and noticed that the other side also had completely melted. You could see the black plastic dripping down the side of it. It had completely melted. So I caught them both. When I looked a little closer at this end of the wires, you can see the browning on them a little bit. So I caught it, and thank God. Now, I know I'm complaining about this, but I'll tell you what, the silver lining here is that I bought these from Parallel Miner, and of course, I have a link in the description below for if you want to use them. I'd appreciate help support the channel, but you'd think that I'd be complaining about them, but I'm not, because one other time I had a problem with them, and they returned. They sent me a return shipping label. They paid for the shipping back to me, and they exchanged the breakout board. It just had stopped one day. No burnouts, nothing like that, just stopped working, and they replaced it. So same thing with this one. I've already contacted them, told them about it, and they've already sent me a return shipping label, and I'm going to send it back. So I was really happy about that. This is the breakout board here that I had bought from them. And well, this is the kit. I'd actually bought it as a kit, this particular one. So I have the 1200 watt power supply, and if you're familiar with these, you know that the breakout board just connects right into it like that, and then you can plug this into anything you want. When I first started off mining, was deathly afraid of these. I actually bought one from eBay because I saw someone with a video with it, and I thought I'd try it, and I bought it and was just so scared to use them. I wound up returning it until I'd learned much more about it, and then realized, wow, these are amazing. They have all different kinds. They've got smaller ones with one readout. The one that I had on the other board that burnt out, or the wires that burnt into it, had two readouts on it. One's for voltage, one's for the amps, and you multiply those and you get your watts. So it tells you right where you're pulling from the wall. This one here is the kit. If I go back, this is the actual breakout board that burnt out. As you can see, it's got the two readers on there. It's a great one. Now, this is just a basic one. I've got other ones that I use, like this one has the ATX support on it, so you can plug a motherboard into this one along with everything else. Also has the dual readout, which is super cool. This one costs a little bit more, but I like to have backups of all of them, because if it does go down, like the one that I did, I had a backup of that breakout board, and I have several other breakout boards. I could send that back in, and while it's being replaced, I can still be up and running. So just remember that if you do if you do buy a breakout board by itself because you have a power supply, make sure that you look down below here and make sure it's compatibility. You can find the product number on it, and we're going to look at the 1200 watt because that's the one that I have here, the teal sticker. And let's see here. So this one is the HSTNS DP11, and that's this one here. So it is this one right here. So so we have the product number, and then we need the model number. And the model number on this one is the 438202-002. So we look at that, 001, 43802. So that's it. So we have the product, and then we have the model number. So you want to make sure they both match up exactly. And then you know that this particular power supply is compatible with this breakout board. As you can see, they have other ones in here, the 750, the 460. They have all different power supplies in here. So if you do buy a breakout board by itself, just make sure it's compatible with it. Like I said, they've been super great to me. Every time I've had a problem, which is just these two times. Now, this time it seems to be a bad batch of wires. You remember I was mining Zill and I had two wires burnt out, one on each rig. And I thought it was because of the ZIL on and off, that stress of just that on-ing off that caused it. But I believe now that it was probably just a batch of wires, because when I got these, I bought them as just a small batch of wires that I bought about a dozen. And that's 2 here and 2 from over there. So that's 4 out of the 12. That's, a third of them. So I'm just going to take the rest of them and just get rid of them. I didn't ask them about that. I might email them and just say, hey, these are the wires that were caused. They may just replace them too, but they will replace the breakout board. And because I bought it as a kit, they're going to take back the kit as the power supply as well, replace it. And you can tell they put a sticker on there, so it's from them. Same thing with the power supplies. They'll put one on there as well. Excuse me. So, anyway, Parallel Miner, like I said, they've been good to me. I've had some problems, so you'd think I'd be pissed and complaining about them, but they immediately fixed the problem, and you can't beat that. So, again, if you want to support the channel, click the link down below. I appreciate it. Here's the miner here. You can see where it went down that one time, and I rebooted it. And then it ran good for a little bit, and then, finally the wire just completely failed. And before I thought, well, let me just reboot it again. Then I thought, you know what? Before I start doing that, I'm going to start looking at wires because I've had problems in the past. So I started looking, and that's when I saw them all burnt out. Thank God I didn't. You can see I got the other breakout board, fired it back up, and away I went. So everything worked out well. The other power problem I'm having is remembering that my time changed for my power. Now, you know that I have 3 rates for my power, and they change. Let's see. I think I've got one here. I think this is it. But you can see that it changes in the summer. 5/1, it changed to the summer hours. Now, in the summer, it's 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., where in the wintertime, it was from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So now it's p.m. The other day, I completely spaced out, and I let it run from 6 until like 8:30, and I remembered, and I was, I pretty much, you could pretty much waste an entire day's worth of profits just in these 3 hours. Probably actually a little bit more than that. So it completely wipes out everything. As you can see here, my rate is 16 cents per kilowatt during those 3 hours compared to a much lower rate. So is this the new one? I think this is the new one. Maybe this isn't the updated one with my new rates, which is even a little bit higher. Anyway, the point is that this is definitely not the newest one. Let me find that one. Yeah, here it is here. Yeah, this is the new one. So you can see, I'm sorry, not 16 cents, 20 cents per kilowatt hour. So that's crushing. Could you imagine mining at 20 cents an hour? And I was for 3 hours. So like I said, those 3 hours really turned into like 6 hours would have been of even just my off-peak time, and even more so if it was my discount. So yeah, kind of got crushed there. Now it's only been a couple days. Today's the 7th. I've only missed it once. It's a lot easier for me to do it this way because it's 6 p.m. I'm usually getting home from work 5, 6 o'clock. And then I'm going to bed around 10 o'clock. So I get home in time to shut down and go to bed, after it had already turned it on. Whereas the other way in the wintertime, it's really was a lot harder because I'd get up early because I'd take my son to school, and then I would go to work, and I'd leave by around 7 in the morning. So if I, didn't want to waste that time, those extra 2 hours, then I wouldn't turn back on, and I may miss that whole day of mining until that night. So there was a lot of up and down time in mining over the winter time, in the winter. But now I think in the summer I'll have much more steady mining because I'll be able to easily get these 3 hours in there. But it does cost a lot if you miss it. So anyway, my son's been real sick this past week. I've been just taking care of business around here, so I haven't put anything out. I apologize for that, but I'll try to get some more out. I appreciate y'all checking in. Like I said, if you want to help support the channel, grab that affiliate link down below for Parallel Miner. Like I said, they're good to me. I hope they're good to you. I appreciate y'all checking in. If you want to subscribe to the channel, button's right over there. If you want to watch any of my other videos, of course, I'll have one right up over there. Again, thanks for checking in. I'll see you all next time.